Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Avernum 6. Last episode we went into the castle and explored around a bit. Now we're going to explore around the upper level of the castle. At the very least we know that the one who will teach us holy rituals is up in here. That's probably her right there. This is a small alchemical workshop. The work here seems focused on ways to treat the plague that is afflicting the crops of Avernum. This isn't surprising. As soon as the blight appeared, alchemists began to hunt for a cure. An enormous bounty was offered to the first to succeed. None have. The floor here is covered with burn marks and long streaks of slime. Some of the tiny slime bits are still moving. This woman is wearing long flowing robes and an ankh hangs around her neck. She would fit in much better in a shrine or temple if it weren't for the slime stains that cover or have burned through her garments. When you approach, she is trying to get a small cave slime back into a jar. She pokes at it with a stick and shouts a lot. Eventually it is confined, sealed inside with a thick cork. Then she turns, sees you, and gives a little bow. "Oh, good day to you, traveler. I am known here as Sage Asta. I would love to give you succor in wisdom and teaching, though my calling lately has led me to a much different path." A lump of slime on the floor next to her begins to slither away. She stomps on it. "How did you come to be here?" "I am a traveler in the path of all life. Our sect travels through the lands, welcomed by all, spreading healing and the joy of communion with nature. I let the nature spirits call me into Avernum, which might not be working out. When I came to the castle offering my healing arts, Corellia suggested I put my knowledge of life to use, and so I remained here, as far as this work is from my main purpose." It doesn't seem that far from your main purpose. You want communion with life and nature? Well, find a way to solve the problem that is causing nature to effectively starve everyone. Then again, nature might be trying to do that, and doing this might actually be the exact opposite of your work. But that's going down a very dark path with nature, and I don't want to get involved in that. So, forget I said anything. Why did you stay here? "Because people are hungry and a disease afflicts their food. I respect the balance of life, but not to the point of allowing famine." Okay, fine. Fine. "Corellia was drawn to me immediately. She thought my knowledge could help to find a cure, and so I stay." What exactly are you trying to do? "I am looking for a way to destroy the blight. Something that might remove it from the afflicted crops, leaving the healthy mushrooms behind. I have also found that certain slimes are attracted to the blight. I am trying to breed a sort that is too small to harm humans and large enough to consume the diseased mushrooms." Science. You know what? I won't argue. It's not too terrible of an idea, in all honesty. Consumes the mushrooms, doesn't harm humans, just the right size. It's tricky, but sometimes science has gone with crazier ideas. You seem to be having some problems, though. "I have nothing but problems. Corellia urges me to stay on and bring my ideas to life, but the slimes are so... I am sworn to love all living things. Had I not, I would hate slimes. I really, really would. Were it not for Corellia's support, I would have given up long ago." Tell me more about Corellia. "She is downstairs." Asta doesn't elaborate. Okay then. "What else do you wish to know? In all honesty, a rest from my labors in this lab is very welcome. What would you speak of, or be taught?" Tell me about your research. "I breed slimes. I split them up into smaller slimes. I collect mushrooms with different sorts of blight. I feed this mushroom to that slime and see if I can find..." Sounds mad to say it out loud. Many things do. Do you really think that will work? "No, but every possible sane thing we could try has failed. Now we must be creative." Do you need any help? "Help? Actual help? Actually, I could use some assistance. The work here requires mushrooms afflicted with every sort of blight." Wait, there's variations? "I could use 4 samples, 1 mushroom from each region. From the Great Cave, the Eastern Gallery, the Abyss, and the Northern regions. Then I could compare them. When exploring, look for mushrooms that show signs of corruption and bring them to me. You would be doing me a great service, and if you could bring me those samples, there are things I could do for you in return." Delightful. We'll keep our eyes open. Where do you think the blight came from? "There are many theories. Some of them are... they strike me as paranoid. But I have wandered much. I know that new blights and diseases sometimes appear. Nobody knows how or why, but it always happens. The only question is how prepared you are to react. And how prepared was Avernum? I will let you decide that for yourself. We'll have to explore more to decide there. What do you teach? I teach focusing rituals that can be used by the trained mind to heal and focus oneself. I could teach you if you are willing. It would be enjoyable for me, though I would be forced to ask for funds to continue my work. Please, train me. Smite, yes, that's definitely something we could use. Improve minor heal, improve curing, and improve smite, repel spirit. And what the hell, war blessing, protection, and we can improve the other spells downstairs as well. You know what the hell, we'll spend the coin, improve it. Receive training, learn magic, call beast, haste. I think we'll save the what little coin we have left. That's plenty of spell improvements, I'll take it. Can't pick that lock. That leads down to there. Artifact procurement. Okay, that leads to that. Lark happily takes a chunk of twisted metal. Yes, early Avernite magical construction. Very interesting, as promised. She gives you a generous tip for your delivery. Alright, I forgot about that. Thank you. There's a mage in this storeroom walking around with a scroll in one hand and a pen in the other, cataloging the piles of junk here. She sometimes grabs an item and moves it to a different shelf or throws it in the trash barrel. She isn't as pale and thin as the other Avernites in town. She has been in Avernum for a long time, but you doubt that she was born here. She seems very distracted, which, considering all the junk, is understandable. She looks up at you. Welcome. She looks at the insignia on your shoulder. Oh, no! I know this voice. I should change it. Welcome. Soldier, I am Lark, hedge wizard and archivist. She looks over your equipment. Nothing of historical import there. Carry on. Where are you from? She looks up in the ceiling, lost in memory. I was on the surface once. Sunsight, wind, food. Then I came down here, and I kept staying down here, until now. Why did you come down here? You know, I'm not sure. Low rations must be fuzzing my memory. Probably for the same reason most magicians come down here, to do research and zap things without the Empire bothering us. Why did you stay? Well, it's all so interesting down here. I'm only so good at magic, but I turned out to have a knack for getting things and finding things, deciphering old dragon scrolls, gathering bits of odd monsters. Papers on my discoveries have been read in the finest academies on the surface. I'm just naturally good at getting things. And you get the things yourself? Oh, I have been known to hire the occasional adventurer, but I tell them where to go. That part is very important. Yes, because, after all, well, you can gather this or that. I'm sure you don't really want to go fighting creatures to get things like the eyes of a wraith or the cloak of a black horror. I remember you, Lark. Why did you stay? Oh, we already asked that. Lark continues to sort through the items, dusting them off, taking notes on them, and occasionally discarding them. Sorry, it is so easy to get distracted. Can I help you with something else? Can you teach me any magic? Oh no, that has never been my specialty. Talk to Corellia or Asta, they can help you. What is all this stuff for? This stuff, as you call it, is a collection of fine historical and magical artifacts from all throughout the history of Avernum. I was brought here after the Blight struck to gather and catalog them. Historical and magical artifacts? Items of great fame and interest, and items of power, things we do not want lost. I find them and keep them safe, by the order of King Starus himself. And what happens to the stuff? Well, if it's not interesting or powerful, I discard it. If it is interesting, but not very powerful, I barter it. And if it is an item of great fame or strength, it will be saved. Saved? Taken to the surface, where it will be held until Avernum is secure. Really? Oh dear me. What is all of this stuff for? Oh wait, we already asked. Are you buying any equipment? I am. in fact, but nothing mundane. I'm so glad you asked. Special things, and I don't pay with money, but with artifacts of only moderate power, and knowledge. For example, I want to recover the Blessed Athame. It is an item of some historical interest to the scholars of Avernum. Plus, it can put scratches in just about anything, if that's the sort of thing you like to do. If someone recovered it for me so it could be taken to safety, I would pay very well. What is an Athame? A small ceremonial dagger. This one is most highly and effectively blessed and used for the etching of magical glyphs. Once stored safely in the Tower of Magi, it has since had a long and interesting tale. And where is this Athame? She makes a small, happy hopping motion. Somewhat how I knew you would ask. It was being used to etch protective symbols in the northern forts, first Fort Emerald and then Fort Saffron. It was lost only recently. In tracing its path, the last I heard, it was taken to Fort Saffron a few months ago. Perhaps the commander there can help you learn its fate. Fort Saffron, eh? Well, we won't be going there for a while, but we'll remember to ask. Door's locked, door's locked. Secure chamber. Please don protective gear before entering. This chamber is designed for magical experimentation and analysis. The thick walls are here to protect the rest of the castle from the inevitable poisonous or explosive mistakes. For example, right now, this room is being used for experiments involving diseased mushrooms and living slimes. The vat by the north wall bubbles and hisses. Eventually, the slimes within will be released and analyzed. Or they might sense prey, find a hole in the vat containing them, slither out, and begin to spread chaos. And this is, in fact, what happens. Ah, great! At least they're dying quickly. Okay, get Smite out. Well, at least they're dying easily. There we go. Of course that happened. I'm not gonna take the mushrooms, even if it is food. Oh, there's some healing herbs. This locker is full of dried samples of mushrooms, lichen, and moss taken from all over the lands of Avernum. The samples are interesting from an alchemical perspective, but none of them are useful to you, so you close the locker. Yeah, makes sense. Nothing over there. Passage over here. Ah, the royal chambers. Yeah, can't go in there. We could pick the lock if we were skilled enough, but we are not. Alright, let's see. We've been through that, and that. Let's try down here. There's a stairway over here. This castle kitchen is full of workers, struggling desperately to stretch any scrap of edible material that comes into their hands. They are very impressed by your rank and status, but you don't learn anything useful from them. Yeah, fair enough, makes sense. Servants' quarters. Really nothing of interest up in here. Alright, what about in here? This ladder. Anything we can get from here? Nothing but a look through up here, pretty much. We are making quite a run. Oh, look at that. It's worth it to explore. Alright. Now I know there was a ladder in the southeast. Here we are. You climb the ladder and attempt to open the trapdoor on the top. Alas, it's securely barred from the other side. Interesting. Alright, let's take this ladder over here. The stairway over here. I wonder why it's secured like that. Can't open that one, can't open that one. I thought you said you were open the barracks for us. Fuck. Can't open that one. Spy Master. Wait, we can't see the Spy Master? And can't go in there. That appears to be everything we can explore up here. Alright. It's everything explored in the castles. Yes, explored. Explored! Blech. Words! Anyway, we still have some time, so let's go. As you walk out onto the bridge, you begin to feel the beginning of hunger pangs. Operating in the safety of the food depot, you never suffered for a good meal. Now that you are stepping out into the world, you will need to feed yourself. Fortunately, you still have a while before your hunger gets serious. Of course, as long as you have food on hand, you'll be fine. Every so often, you will eat some of the food in your inventory. If you lack food, you will become hungry. This will result in your being less effective in combat. Using food in your inventory fills you up and heals some damage. And there you go. This is why I've been gathering up all this food. Because I remembered that this is going to be a thing. Remember back in Avernum 1 and Avernum 2, I think it was, where every so often you had to eat some food or you'd suffer a penalty? I think this is the same kind of thing. The blight is going on. Food is at a premium. You can't really wander around without eating. You can't just sit in camp and just use some food whenever you camp. You need food with you all the time. So this time, whenever I find food, I'm going to gather it up, give it to Michael, and he's going to be our food hoarder. And that is something you really got to keep in mind here. Now then, well, you could explore through there. You see movement coming from the graveyard to the west. Lurching movements. You turn and see several skeletons making their awkward way out of the cemetery toward you. The memorial grounds are normally patrolled by a large contingent of soldiers in case of just such an occurrence. Sadly, this place, like everywhere else, is short-handed. Alright, let the skeletons come to us. However many there are. Quite a few, actually. But we can still kill them. That wasn't too terrible. Bronze broadsword, 4 to 12. Okay. Oh, another one? Oh, there it is. Oi, die! We'll have to clear that out later. For now, we may as well complete this quest.